Hello YouTube, my name is Daniel and welcome back to the second part in this Flutter series. So in the last video we set up the backend and also set up the dependencies for our Flutter project. Now we're going to begin with the rest of the coding. So firstly we need to set up the local Flutter project with our Amplify backend. So if you go over to the top right hand corner, we've got this button here called local setup instructions, and then there's a command here which we need to copy and paste to pull our configuration into our app. So you want to go to the directory or where your app is located and copy and paste the command. And then when we run that, all of the configuration will get pulled down and everything should be set up. So this will take a few moments. I will come back when it's completed. So once your credentials have been verified, you will just need to select Flutter on here. And then if you're inside the app directory, just hit enter because we want to store the configuration in this lib folder. When this pops up, do you plan on modifying this backend? We just select no. And that should be our app set up with the backend. So if you go into your Flutter project now, and then we should see this Amplify folder here, and also in the lib directory we have our models and we have our message, our movie and our user object. So that is all the configuration setup. Now we're going to go ahead and set up the package structure for our app. I've already gone ahead and set up the dependencies as shown in the last video. So the first package we're going to need is a screens package. Then we will need a utils package. And then finally a viewModels package. So firstly, we're just going to create our constants file in the util package. So this will be class constants, and then we just have one constant variable in here, which is the URL for downloading our images. And then we have another file, which will be the view utils file. And this is just to hold some other functions to show a snack bar and also a function to get the current time. And I'm just going to rename this as well so we can follow that naming convention. So we're going to have two static methods in here. So static void show snack bar. And this is going to take a build context and a message, which will be a string. Then we just need to create a variable. Snack bar equals snack bar. Then we need to pass the context. Then we need to pass the content. And then we just need to import this as well. The content will be the message inside the text widget. Then we need to access the scaffold messenger object. Just scaffold messenger dot of context dot show snack bar, and then we pass in the snack bar and then just a semicolon at the end, and that will show the snack bar. The next function is to get the current time, and we'll be using this for when we're sending messages. So static string get current time, and then we want to return date.time dot now dot hour dot toString plus this symbol here, and then datetime.minute. And just a semicolon at the end. Next, we're going to go ahead and create our view models. So this will be what prepares the data to be shown onto the screen. So we're going to have a movie view model for the movie list, and then a message view model for showing the messages. Firstly, we're going to create the movie list view model. So this will be called movie underscore list underscore view model. So this will be class movie list view model, and this is going to implement change notifier because we want to notify the views for any changes, and we need to import that as well. Then this class will just have one function, which will be stream query snapshot, and then movie. The name of this function will be called observe movies. And then we just need to do some imports, and we just need to remove this bracket here, and there we go. And this is going to return amplify dot data store dot observe query, and we need the movie dot class type and now semicolon. So what this is going to do is stream our movie data, so all of the movies that we have in our DB, to the movie list screen. Anytime that the movie data gets updated, like a latest message for a movie or a new movie gets added into the list, then the screen will be updated automatically and show the new data. So that's this view model done, and then we can move on to the message view model. So we want to create a new view model called message underscore list underscore view model. This will be class message list view model with change notifier. Then first we need to create a similar function just to return the message list to be observed by our view, which will be stream query snapshot message and this will be called observe messages. This will take a movie ID because we want to get the messages associated to a specific movie. We just need to import these, and we will return amplify.datastore dot observe query. The model type will be message dot class type, and then we need a where clause, which will be message dot movie ID equals the movie ID that we pass to this function. Then the next method is going to be to add a message. So this will be saving a message into the DB when it's sent from the messaging screen. So this will be a future, because it will be an asynchronous function. And then void, because we're not returning anything. And we're going to call this add message. This will take a string, which will be message, a from ID, which will be the ID of the user sending the message, and the movie ID, and the from name, which will be the username of the user that is sending the message. And this will be an async function. Firstly, we will need to get the current time, and we can use that function we created in our view utils to do this. So this will be view utils get current time. Then we need to create a message to save into the database. So this will be message to save. In order to do this, we can pass in the message, the from ID, the from username, and the timestamp, which will be the time here. Then we need to await the saving of this message, so that will be awaits amplify .datastore.save, and then message to save. And then we need to add another await for another function which we'll be creating after this, and that's going to be called update movie latest message. And to that we're going to pass the movie ID, the message, and the time. And then we just need to notify the listeners. Now we're going to create that function which we mentioned above. This will be a future again. Update movie latest message. And this is going to take a string called movie ID, string called message, and then a string called time. Then we need to retrieve that specific movie from the database. So this will be movie, and this again needs to be an async function. So this will be await amplify.datastore.query movie.classType. And we just need to import the movie class in here, and then we have a where clause which will be movie.id equals movie ID And we need to close these brackets, and then we just want the first element. There should only be one anyway, and then just a semicolon. And then we need to create a new object with the updated latest message. So this will be movie updated movie. And this will be movie.copy. ID will be movie ID. Latest message will be message. And latest message time will be the time. And then we just need to save it back to the database, which will be await amplify .datastore .save. And we just save the updated movie into the DB. So now we've done the view models, we can go ahead and start creating our screens. Firstly, we're going to create all the packages for this. So we will need a package for login. For register. For chat underscore list. For the chat. And then we also have a shared directory. We'll start off from the shared directory first because we're going to create a custom widget which is going to be used throughout most of our app, and that's going to be called the custom scaffold. So this will be called class custom scaffold, and this is going to be a stateless widget. And this will take a string called title. The next parameter will be a list of widgets. This will be called widgets. And then a nullable widget, which is for the action on this scaffold. So this will be a button to press in the top right, such as the movie icon, or a back navigation, or an information logo. This will be called action. And then finally, we need a Boolean value, which is for the back button, as we may not want the back button on a specific scaffold. Then we need the constructor, which will be custom scaffold this.title, this.widgets, and action, and then the back button. Then we need to implement this here to build the widget. And this is going to return a scaffold. And first we need an app bar, and we also need to import this library here. Then we need to pass the title, which will be a text widget, and the title that we get in the constructor. And then the style, which would be text style, color, colors.white. And then we need to specify our actions. And we need to check whether the action is not null. And if it's not, we're going to pass the array of widgets. Otherwise, we just pass an empty widget array. With these brackets here. And then for the back button navigation, we need to specify this parameter here, which is automatically imply leading, and then we just pass the back button boolean, like so. Comma on here, and then we need to specify the body, which should be safe area. So safe area gives you a container so what safe area will do is expand the view. So what safe area will do is expand the view as far as it can without coming into contact with any of the system views like the status bar on Android. So in this side, this safe area, we're going to have a child, which is a column. And inside that, we're going to have children array, which is going to be the widgets. And a semicolon down here. And that's the custom scaffold completed. Now I think this is a good place to end this video, as we've completed quite a lot already. We've set up the app. Now I think this is a good place to end this video, as we've completed quite a lot already. We've already set up the app, set up Amplify, and created our view models and our constants as well, and we've already created our first widget. So in the next video, we'll continue on creating the rest of the screens and hopefully demo the app. So if you could join me in the next video, that would be great. Please like and comment, and please subscribe.